Hello and welcome to Frequency Trees with Cuba Education. In this lecture, you will know what a frequency tree is, complete frequency trees, and use frequency trees to solve problems. So, here is an example of a frequency tree. So you can see that this tree is telling you that there is people of a certain age, which are these people, and certain people out of these bought sweets and some didn't. So let's have a look at a possible question. So a question that you could get when you're looking at something like this is how many people were aged 17 or more? So if we're looking at from the beginning here, we know there are 200 people and 17 or more is 120. So that would be our answer for that question. Another possible question is what fraction of those asked were 16 or less and bought sweets? Okay, so here we have 80 people were 16 or less and 56 of them bought sweets. Okay, so it's saying 16 or less and bought sweets, meaning we only want this one. We do want to know how many people were 16 or less, but we only want to know how many people were 16 or less and bought sweets. So the answer is 56 out of a total of 200, which can be cancelled down to 7/25. So another question could be what fraction of the people asked did not buy sweets? Well, those that didn't buy sweets, now all we're looking at is both amounts of people that didn't buy sweets. So that's 24 and 95. 24 add 95 is 119, so it would be 119 out of a total of 200. So what is a frequency tree for? A frequency tree is a sort of diagram that helps to show how information is categorised. They can be used to help find probabilities as well. So they are called frequency trees because the numbers are telling you how often something happened, and we call that frequency. So we've done that before when you're doing like tables, and it says like there's 5 people in a class, one of them had 4 dogs, another one had 3 dogs, another one had no dogs, and another one had 1 dog. So the frequency are how many dogs they have. Okay, so the numbers are telling us how often something happened, and we call that a frequency. The lines connecting the numbers are called branches. Since it's a thing made up of branches, it gets called a tree. So here is an exam style question that you might get. It says that 90 children went on a school trip. They either went to a field or a river. There were 43 boys altogether, 20 girls and 21 boys went to visit the field. So there were 90 children went on a school trip. They either went to the field or a river. There were 43 boys altogether, 20 girls and 21 boys went to visit the field. So you've got to work out as well how many people went to visit the river. So it wants you to complete the frequency tree. So altogether there are 90 children, okay? There were 43 boys altogether, and out of those, 21 boys and 20 girls went to the field. So can you see we've filled all of that in now without really having to do a lot. 90 children altogether, 43 boys. Of those 43, 21 went to the field, and we also know that 20 girls went to the field. So can you see how we split it up between field and river, field and river? So we've got to complete the frequency tree. We've added everything in that we've already been told. So now we need to know how many girls there are. So 90 take away 43 gives us 47. Okay, so there's 47 girls altogether, and 20 of them went to the field, then 27 of them must have gone to the river. And if there are 43 boys altogether and 21 went to the field, then 22 must have gone to the river. It now asks you to use the diagram to find the probability that a child chosen at random would be a girl that visited the river. So we need to go to girls, okay, 47 of them, that visited the river, 27. So it's 27 out of 90, which can be cancelled down to 3/10. Or you could also write that as 30%, if you wanted to. Okay, but if it asks you to write it as a fraction, then write it as a fraction. If it doesn't ask you, you can write it however you want. Okay, so what is the minimum amount of information you need to be given to complete a whole tree like this? So as you can see in this question, if I just go back a little bit, it gave us no information in the actual tree, but it gave us quite a lot of information to put into the tree. If we didn't have enough information, we wouldn't be able to answer the questions. Okay, so we need to be able to put that information in. So something like this, which is even more complicated, you're going to need to know the total people that went. And you're probably going to need to know how many of a male or female they were. And you're probably going to need to know at least one of these. Okay, so they will give you all of that in the exam. Okay, so let's have a look at a bit of a comparison then. So here we have a frequency tree that shows us a location and then a colour. So the location was the woodland or the path, and the colour is either dark or light. So 80 people there were altogether. 50 of them went to the woodland and 30 went to the path. Okay, now you can also see that of those 50, 45 went to the dark. Okay, sorry, said that it was dark, and 50 said that it was light, or I don't know, it could be something completely different. Then here, 30 people took the path, 10 said it was dark, 20 said it was light. Okay, we can also put that information into a table like this. Woodland, 45 dark, 5 light, 50 in total. Path, 10 dark, 20 light, 30 in total. Okay, and as you can see here, we have people that went to the woodland and who said it was dark. So the people that went to the woodland altogether is 50. So all of these numbers inside this Venn diagram should be 50 because we're only looking at the woodland and we're only looking at when it was dark. Well, the ones that went to the woodland is 50. So we can write this frequency tree as a Venn diagram. So we know that 45 said it was dark and went to the woodland. So if 45 said it was dark and went to the woodland, we need to put 45 in the middle. Okay. Then we have people that went to the path and said it was dark, okay, but didn't go to the woodland. They didn't go to the woodland, so we have to put 10 in there. And then the people that went to the woodland but said it was light is 5, so we put that in there, okay. And then we have our 20 others down here from this bit. So my fault, sorry. They are looking at both parts of the frequency tree, but they are looking at the part of the woodland and the part that is dark. So all the information, whether it's about the woodland or the path, must be included if it says dark, because dark is still included in both sections. Okay, so altogether we would have the 80. Okay, so altogether in there is 80. All right. Okay, so why don't you pause the video and have a go at trying to complete this frequency tree. Okay, if you've paused the video and had a go, it says that in one day, 350 customers visited a burger van. So 350 would go there. They chose either a burger or a hot dog. 120 customers chose a burger. 30 burgers were served plain, and 210 customers wanted onions. So let's put that information in. 350 people altogether, 120 chose a burger, 30 said they wanted it plain, 210 customers wanted onions. So we should be able to put that in. So just missed that bit out, sorry, that's my fault. So we can put that onions in a minute. If there were 350 people altogether, we know that if this is 120, then this is 230, okay? We also know that because that's 120 and that's 30, that this should be 90. Okay, so we know that it says that 210 customers wanted onions. So 210 customers, we can put that in there. And then all we need to do now is complete this last bit, which 210 up to 230 is 20. So we just need to put 20 in there. And what we can do is we can check. So 290, 300, 330, 350, which is perfect. So it adds up to 350, which means we've got it right. Okay, so all we have to do now is answer question B. A customer is selected at random. They chose a hot dog, so we're just looking at the hot dog people. What is the probability that they chose onions? Well, out of the 230 people that chose a hot dog, 210 chose onions. So we have to write 210 out of 230, which can be simplified to 21 over 23. Okay, so hopefully then you know what a frequency tree is. You are able to complete a frequency tree and use frequency trees to solve problems. Okay, that wasn't too long a lesson, so I hope you understood everything. Well done, and thank you so much for using Cubit Education. I'll see you next time.